Tell us about Honey Don't, which is
Honey,
directed,
don't.
yeah, written
Okay.
and directed by Ethan Cohen,
Ethan Cohen, yeah.
and Trisha Cook.
Trisha Cook, yeah. So so Honey Don't, it's done by the same director and I guess writer as Drive Away Dolls, which I
Yeah,
think I gave quite a decent review to. I'm pretty
yeah.
certain I
Yeah,
did. So this is
you
in
liked it.
apparently it's a film. Apparently it's going to be a trilogy of them. So there's going to be one more lesbian LBGQ2
Yeah, it's essentially lesbian film noir. That I think that's,
lesbian film noir. Yeah.
I think
So
even Trisha Cook would describe it as that herself.
Yeah. So, but all the way through the film, it wasn't. I went with Happy John. I was looking at the actress, the main actress who plays this private detective, and I was thinking,
Yes.
I've seen her somewhere before. And he said, "Yeah, you saw her in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She
Yep.
was the one." And I was like, "I have seen her."
Yeah,
And
she was the hippie girl with her always had
but
her feet on the
Yeah.
she's Andy
feet,
McDowell's
dirty
daughter, isn't
feet.
she?
She is Andy
Yeah.
McDowell's daughter. Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
lot nicer looking than. Anyway, let's put it this way. She
Okay,
could
okay.
be
Moving
my
on.
new. She could be my new. She's going to go down on my list of Florence
Oh,
Pugh.
shall we say, she'll go down your list. Okay, let me help you out, Sean. Here, she'll go down your list of actresses who you will watch in anything.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
basically,
You're
the
not going to be
story.
creepy about it.
She's a private detective, and it starts off with this car accident's happened, and this girl's been killed. Um, and then this lady on a motorbike turns up, not the private detective, but she pulls this ring off, which is like it's got like a cross on, and there's this church. There's this church in where Chris Evans is like the preacher, and he's doing
Yeah,
some nasty drug running, shall we say? It's like a little bit of a drug front,
yeah.
and he's also seducing a lot of his congregation. So yeah, so there's uh,
Essentially, Chris Evans talking about Austin Butler after Elvis. Chris Evans after the MCU has gone. I play Captain America. I just want to play the absolute worst of humanity now. I
yeah,
want to play
that's for
that.
sure.
So Chris Evans shows up. You're like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
probably going to be a bad guy.
Yeah, and then there's something goes wrong with this drug thing. Chris Evans has got it's quite funny because he's got some like obviously some of his congregation are like killers. So and
Yeah,
he sends them off on missions and to sell the drugs and all that. And something goes a bit wrong. So and it just so happens that someone has gone into her office and said, "I think my boyfriend's having an affair," and blah
yeah.
blah blah. And one of his men turns up to sell the drugs and they're obviously gay, and he goes, "Oh, I haven't got any money on me, but I can do something if you want." And because he's this young lad's a proper church person, he's like, oh, he's really horrified, so he sort of hits him and then runs him over and goes off. So you've got this scene going
that's
on.
not a bit extreme.
Yeah,
I mean,
Just
that is
say,
very.
no, thank you.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's it. That's what I mean. That's what it's like. He's going, oh look, I can do. He's like he's gone into selling these drugs, and it's like, oh, I do something, and he's the chap's horrified. So, but then what happens is one of other Chris Evans's hoods goes and he says, oh, we better get rid of him, otherwise there's going to be some trouble. But he ends up killing this young lad's mum, who gets rid. Anyway, there's a cut. Long story short, so this investigator, she goes. The other girl there, there's like a policewoman who's
Aubrey Plaza, played by Aubrey Plaza.
yeah, there's a policewoman who she's sort of they're in a bar and they get seduced. There's a lot more. There's a lot more sort of sexual content in this than there is in the Drive Away Dolls.
Yeah.
Some bit too much for me, really. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, really? So yeah, that's sort of let it down a little bit. So and that's and but what they never really comes to a conclusion. This film you never really gets to a conclusion. I mean, there's you hear about the French, you hear about the drugs people because all the French they're not very happy. I don't know. Well, the French, who knows where the French are? So, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's there's a lot of lesbianism in this. A little bit too much for me, really. I mean, I want to see a plot. I want to see what's going on, but obviously, that I guess.
Are you saying? Okay, let me try and understand what you're saying. Are you saying that there's supposed to be a storyline, but like
Yeah.
maybe sometimes I complain about how maybe it's, filmmaker has an issue they want to raise, and
Yes.
that issue kind of
Overtakes.
overtakes the story.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Overtakes the story,
Yeah,
and then the
yeah.
story doesn't develop because they're too busy trying to push that issue.
Yes.
And it's part of my problem with some of the Pixar that we have now is that sometimes they seem to have the issue and they really want to push the issue, but they forget about the story.
I think about this conversation with Sharon on other films is that yeah, okay, you're gonna have sex, you're gonna get together and all that, but we don't need to see it. We just, just show us a scene like back in the old days. Not that I've
Yeah.
said nothing against it, but you don't need to see it. You know what's happened, you know what's gone on. Let them get in bed, and that's it. Thank you very much. Get on with the film. Anyway,
Yes.
there you go. That's a short for you. Um, so yeah, so this film, I mean, I didn't dislike it, and I did like the titles of the opening of the film when all the credits were sort of coming up about who the actors were in it, and it was done like
I'm guessing it was done a bit 70s.
well, I would say 40s, 50s even.
Really?
So yeah. So I really, really liked it. And I would say that went on for probably 5 minutes, and I really enjoyed that. It was going through this old Bakersfield, I think it was, and it was showing all the run down and closed down stuff and the graffiti. So when it come up with like the actors and the directors, it was all, like, let's just say there was these grain silos with graffiti on. So I
Yeah.
really, really liked that, and it set me up pretty good for the film. And she's brilliant. She was really,
Margaret
really
Qualley, yeah.
good. She
Yeah.
really, really, really impressed. What was her name again? Sorry, Toes.
Margaret Qualley.
Yeah. So I
Yeah, but
really
she's
liked
she's
her.
also in The Substance. That was the last big thing she was in.
Substance. Yeah.
She played the younger thing the younger version of Demi Moore essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, for me, I suppose you could call it lesbian film noir. I don't know.
Well, I think that's exactly what
Yeah,
Trisha Cook would call it.
So I'm going to give this one, as I say, I didn't hate it or anything. I'm just going to give this one a 3 stars. I had,
Yeah.
I wasn't like, it was, it's a 3-star film.
Yeah, to be honest, that's kind of what I expected, especially after because I saw
Drive Away Dolls.
I saw Drive Away Dolls. I saw that, and I was kind of like, oh, this is cool because it is remixing some old tropes.
Yeah.
It is remixing some old tropes. It is essentially it's kind of like you could imagine this kind of like going, okay, we want to make like the typical film noir Humphrey Bogart movie.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, but we want to update it to the present day. It is present day, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I've got to be honest with you, Toes, and I'm not really. Yeah, it would be.
Well, it would be in the last decade or so.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like
last decade
so
or
like
so, yeah.
upgrade to update to the present day, and also just have like a strong thing where like
I mean,
the investigator's lesbian.
yeah. I
let's,
mean,
let's see what that does. Let's see what that does about femme fatales and all that.
Because she dressed with like stockings with a line down the back. So I mean, she was almost like a 1950s. The way she walked and the way she dressed, it was almost a modern day. Should we say a modern day
Yeah.
1950s? If you can have
Yeah.
such a
People
thing.
do
Well,
dress
it-
vintage.
Pardon?
It's a thing. People do dress vintage. It is a thing
Yeah.
that you can have like this sort of costume.
Yeah, yeah. I know what you mean because I've seen the poster of this, and I think essentially, I feel like she's dressed in such a way that when you come to the screen, whatever your sexual preference or anything like she walks on the screen, and you go, whoa.
Wow, yeah.
She's dressed like that. All right, cool. Okay, let's move